This buddy, I want to do a little video today talking about some comments I made that the nurse documented me saying right after I was ambushed shot. I was at the emergency room, and the nurse documents me saying my neighbors are breaking into my house. And neighbors have built a tunnel from their house to mine. Okay, and y'all might have seen that was in the same documents where I said sirens were going off, the alarms kept going off. I have a voice recorder at the house that's now stolen, of course. And but that part I don't really get asked that much about. It's like, why did you think the neighbors were had a tunnel from your house? And that's what I'm going to try to explain to you on this video. And I'm going to name this the suspected tunnel entrance. And actually, I think there's more than one tunnel entrance. Okay, and I'm going to show you that as we go through here. Actually, two of them here that I think were covered up, and I'm going to show you the time frame where the two tunnel entrance was covered up. And I think there's more than that. And I hate to keep going over the same stuff, but we got multiple people documented saying there's an underground facility here, there's tunnels here. Ricky used to live there, said he used to go in the tunnels under this house. Rhonda Denman Rogers said there's a underground facility a half block away. Another woman calls me on the phone, said there's 4 3-bedroom homes costing over $1 million a piece, and there's a lot more people that besides that. But this video I want to talk about why I thought the neighbors were telling in my house. And we're going to go back. We're using, and you can do this yourself using Google Earth on the historical pictures, and just use my address 3802 Fair Circle and go through the historical pictures, and you'll see what I was seeing. And that's what I want to show you here. I want you to see what I was seeing at the time, as far as why did I think. I mean, I had all these people. I had people breaking my house. I've been reporting repeated break-ins in my house. The first call for a burglary was 14 months before. By the time I was ambushed and shot, I'd called the police multiple times, called the Texas Rangers, called the FBI, told my family, told my friends, co-workers. I had people breaking in my home. Since then, I've documented, filmed probably burglar alarms going off in this house 100 times. I saw a young Hispanic guy in my attic one day, and I've seen people in my house 3 different times, and that's besides the police that were in my house that I didn't have a police report for 7 years, which I just got recently. What I'm going to show you here on the outside camera, and I'm going to zoom this in right here, but this is my backyard, and this is on the east side, okay? And so I want to blow that up, okay? And so you'll get a better view on this. This is the alley right here, okay? And right here is a telephone pole. That's the one that has the mystery sudden link coax. That I've got a video on that goes underground. Nobody knows where this internet cable phone coax goes into a pipe underground. Doesn't go to Home Depot, according to Home Depot. Doesn't go to the houses because they go above ground. Nobody knows where it goes, but we know there was a disconnect notice, and that's on this pole. Right here behind that pole, there's on the other side of the wall, that's Home Depot. On the other side, that's a secluded truck unloading lane where we've seen all the suspicious trucker traffic, the suspected sex trafficking, child sex trafficking. I saw a little girl at the sleeper cab 18 back here one day. But anyway, there's the 2 side-by-side manholes. I'm going to show you a picture of them here in a minute. That's strange in itself. Okay. Over here is my little shed in the backyard. And I'm going to go back in the backyard. In this corner is my dog alerted me to a digging noise, a noise coming from underground. And I caught that on video. I have a video called Caught Digging. It's right here. Okay. And when we get outside, what I'm going to show you, okay, here's this neighbor's shed right here. And that's not my yard. That's for this house right here. And this neighbor right here, he told me he built this shed himself. Okay, right after I first got here, probably in 2009. And then here's some big old pieces of plywood that are leaned up against this shed right here. And they've been here since before I moved here. They've been leaning, and it really, when you're in the backyard, it blocks your view, and you can see that because there was something on the other side of it. I'm gonna show you that using Google Earth pictures. Okay. But that's still out there to this day, and I remember him making a point of telling me that he was going to build his mother-in-law a shed because he built this shed. Okay, and so that's really get you started. I'm gonna run out back, and what happened was right before I'm shot, probably within a couple of weeks of the murder attempt, before I'm ambushed and shot, I climbed on top of my house, and when I get out there, I'll show you, and so I could get a view. And when I did, when I got up high on top of the roof there, I was on the roof, I could see inside that backyard right there, and I seen what I felt like was an entrance, an underground entrance. It looked like a cellar door right there, and in that backyard. And it's now been removed. We'll see that with Google Earth pictures. And but anyway, we'll run out there. Kind of the same view, but I'm out here now. You see my shed. You can see the alley there, the dividing wall. Notice that tree that's missing on the other side of the telephone pole, and you can see where that coax is. It's just swinging there. That's the one that goes into the ground where nobody knows. There used to be a tree back there. I'm going to show you that on Google Earth pictures. Here's my shed. It was over here where the Bella alerted me to a digging noise. I got a video on that called Caught Digging in that corner right there. You can see how close it is over to where the missing tree and the two side-by-side manholes on the other side of that. Okay, and then we can move over here. You can see the pieces of plywood up there that block your view, the home base shed. And turn around, and on my house, I climbed up on top of the roof up there and then looked back this way and saw what I thought was a tunnel entrance, and that's why I said that at the hospital. This is the nursing notes timestamp. Literally, here you can see it at 11:27. The nurse's name, emergency room nurse Cresswell, and I crawled out at 10:42, and that's 11:27. Patient stated, my neighbors are breaking into my house. There are sirens going off. Have tire wire around the cabinet. There's a voice recorder recording what's happening. I have cameras. My neighbors have built a tunnel from their house to mine. That's really what this is. The alarms kept going off. I was tie wiring my doors to keep them out and set the gun on the ceramic tile. And I had a gun, and you know, as I said that all along, I had a gun, and they tried to say I shot myself. We know the evidence shows I didn't. I was ambushed and shot. You know, size of pellets are 2.5 sizes different. A lot of plastic in my wound. Lisa Rogers said I was shot with a 45. I was shot with burglar alarms going off. But this video isn't about the proof of a capital attempted murder, which is a fact. Okay, this video is why did I think my neighbors are breaking my house? And just for information on this one sheet, MPD Detective Rosa Rodriguez, she didn't know the nurse documented this. Okay, so she had her own story she made up. But he stated he's going to bed for the night, and he was locking up the kitchen and the garage when the gun went off. And shotgun accidentally shot his right ankle. She made all that up, you know. And you know, up here, I'm saying the alarms kept going off, sirens kept going off. I was under home invasion, and Rodriguez up there, yeah, he was locking up for the night, going to bed. No, I wasn't. That's a lie. I was under home invasion. I had burglar alarms going off in my house. Okay. And just so if anybody's new and they don't know my story, multiple people are documented saying there's an underground facility here. I had just reported a suspected tunnel to the DEA, to the El Paso and Midland DEA 2 weeks earlier. This is a phone call. That's a YouTube video called $1 Million Underground Facility. She's the one that tells me there's 4 3-bedroom homes, 25 foot deep. Here's a guy who said he lived in my house, and he used to go in the tunnels under this house. Here's Lance Eggleston. He says, we have access to your residence all the time. No one will ever believe your story. We will come again. You will be silenced, not if, but when. And I said, when are you going to murder me, Lance? Okay. And this was a Google Earth picture, and we were talking about it on Facebook. I posted it, and I was going, doesn't it look like there's a tunnel cut right there? And I'll show you a better picture in a minute. And Betty Shipley says, I know for sure there is. And we're talking about underground facility. This guy said he'd been in the tunnels under my house. Eric, or Nailus, I think his name was. And then here's another one. Rhonda Denman Rogers said that the underground facility is half block away. That's only a few, okay? And that's besides proof that I was shot from 2 inches above ground, burglar alarms going off 2 weeks after reporting a suspected tunnel to the DEA. But this video is going to be talking about... what I want you to do, here's Google Earth. Okay, I've downloaded the full app. And you download the app. Okay, you see it? So it's a great application, great for research tool for what I'm doing anyway, because I can go look at historical pictures. I go up here and search for my address, 3802 Fair Circle, Midland, Texas. Okay, right here, search. And I'm not gonna, actually I'm just showing you how this works real quick, just so you'll know. Zooming in, okay, this is how Google Earth works. Okay, I can use the mouse and we can zoom further. This big building right here behind me is the Home Depot store. My home's right here. That's where I was ambushed and shot. Target's over here. And for anybody that is interested, Walmart's over here. That's one of the 5 shut down Walmarts in 2015, about a half mile away. But either way, that's not what this is about. Okay, so we're going to zoom up here to my home. And here that gives you a good picture, okay? And so there's a button up here, I'm going to show you on the bar, called Historical Imagery. And when you check that, there's a sliding bar, and then you can change it to whatever picture you want, okay? And so you look at the date's on the bottom. And what I'm showing you here, this was 4/28/16. I'm going to show you still pictures in a minute. There's nothing in this backyard, but we're going to look here on October 14th, and you're going to see that what I'm talking about, that suspected tunnel entrance, looked like a cellar door, underground covering right there. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. I ain't do that with Google Earth. I've already got the pictures, okay? And so basically I have some really old ones. I just took screenshots. This one is taken in 2003. It's pretty hard to see, and it really doesn't mean too much. 2008, okay? And really all you can tell, my home's over here. Okay, there's the neighbor's home. Nothing's in that backyard. Tree's still there. And that's in 2008. Okay, this is getting interesting here. Okay, this is in December 2009. I'm going to show you here. Okay, look at the date. Okay, and there's that suspected tunnel entrance in the backyard. Now remember, from the ground, them boards block my view. You couldn't see it from my yard. Okay. And so we know in between them 2 dates, and I'm going to show you another picture in a minute, but that's when it was installed, when it was put in, okay? And so then we're going to go here. This is 2011, okay? And I made my first call for a burglary in 2010, November 2010. You can see it there. You can even see the boards leaned up against the wall, okay? Let's go to the next one. Okay, now we're going into 2013. This is after I was ambushed and shot. Once again, you can still see it there. You can see the boards leaned up against the wall. Okay. Okay. 2014. There it is. Here's the date. Okay, it is there. We know for a fact it's there in 2014. Okay. Also, here's the telephone pole I was telling you about, and the tree. Because on the next picture in 2016, that's going to be gone. Now it's gone. Okay, so it was removed. At the same time, next to where them 2 side-by-side manholes and where these 18-wheelers used to park, right over there by them manholes, that's where I was suspected people were coming from my attic, going through a tunnel over here, these manholes. That's one of the suspected entrances, one of the manholes. I'm going to show you another picture in a minute. And they were doing sex trafficking for this secluded truck unloading lane. That's where I saw that young girl that day. But at the same time, you're going to see this suspected tunnel entrance, and the backyard's gone. So we know when it was put in, the date range when it's put in, and when it disappeared. And this is a more recent picture, and basically it's still gone, of course. And there's my home. Okay. What I want to show you here. Okay. This is the manhole in 2012. Well, no, that's not the one it was. Where's the manhole? Maybe it's not here. Well, I'm going to show you this picture. This is one I took a couple years ago. Basically, I lettered the columns, telephone pole. This shows the west manhole, and then right next to it's an east manhole, and then the missing tree, a live tree that was taken out, and then that telephone pole that has the mystery coax coming down it. Okay, that's taken from the Home Depot side of the wall. Recently, within the last year, behind the Home Depot. I was driving back there. That's the same picture I showed you. And what we noticed was, me and my friend, somebody marked the curb with marks. Okay, you see the marks? I'm gonna back that off. And we wondered if these marks on the curb wasn't marking a tunnel location, okay? Because my home's this way, here's the west manhole, and that lid was off of this manhole there for several years. I took a picture of it and sent it to Midland Chief of Police Robinson in 2012. A Freedom of Information Act request will show that, okay, that I'd sent that picture. Okay, here's the picture that I was talking about. That's what it looked like in 2012 right after I shot. That lid was left off like that for several years. And I believe that at the time, they could go from my house, from the attic, go down, and they could come up right there. They could do their business with their truckers right there, and then go back down and go back to my attic. And so they were doing business back and forth. I think that's covered up now, though. You know, when people go, why don't you go down there? Well, I think it's all covered up because they come back in there and they took that live tree out. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here. I got a couple pictures here. Okay, these are two dated. Okay, this once again, this one's one that was on 10/2/14. You see the thing in the backyard. At the same time, you see the trees there. Now I'm going to go over to this one, 4/28/16. Notice the tree's gone. See where the tree's gone? Tree there, tree gone. At the same time, this suspected tunnel entrance in the backyard that I saw from my roof when right before I got shot, I saw that from my yard. That's what I was talking about. Okay, it got taken out in between them two dates, between October 14 and April 16. So we know it was there this day, it was gone this other day. Okay, I have another picture here. This one I built a collage, and on the left, these were all Google Earth pictures that were dated, okay? And so here's the digging noise, and so you can see it here. I pointed out and put the dates on there, okay? And I zoomed in on what it looks, okay? Now, this was not, if anybody wants to suggest, this is not a hot tub, okay? This is whatever it was underground like a cellar door. You know, it's barely above the, is something wood covering the ground, and maybe it only stuck up off the ground maybe 6 inches, okay? And so, and it was on the, see, you can see real well them pieces of wood that's blocking my view from the ground level, okay? And so, this neighbor, this is kind of interesting, okay? I found this on the police report 2 years later. Because of the protective order, I got that. And it was done by Rosa Rodriguez and information. And I didn't even know this had happened or this was said, stated, whatever. And here's Rodriguez saying, I contacted and spoke with Buddy Webb's neighbor, informed them about the incident. I also told them that they suspect teenage sons were digging tunnels from their home to his and stealing his belongings, okay? I was informed that his older teenage son parked his vehicle on his property but next to Buddy Webb's residence. In the morning, his car tires were slashed. I was told his son began to park on the other side away from Buddy's home, and his tires were no longer slashed. They believed it was Buddy. That was a made-up lie. I've never slashed anybody's tires in my whole life. And besides that, I had cameras watching on the front of my house. Remember, I have pictures, camera view of the first two cops that showed up at my house. John Woodward, that from the Martin County Sheriff, and Naylor, the Midland Sheriff deputy that's no longer alive, showed up. Remember? But I didn't even know about this until 2 years later. These were lies told behind my back, made up and told behind my back. And the two teenage sons tells me which house it was. It was the house with the suspected tunnel entrance in the backyard. And then the other things that Rodriguez here had she was real concerned. Buddy had surgery and his foot was not amputated. And you know, and I made a lot of mention of that before. You know, she sneaked in the house and stole the evidence I told her about. And the doctor's job was to cut off my leg. And they didn't do their job. And you can tell she was upset about that because they left evidence while she stole evidence. Okay. And then she contacts the specialty hospital and tries to have me committed. Of course, I was cleared by mental health. And that was all a lie because I'm the victim of a capital attempted murder, a premeditated capital attempted murder. And Rodriguez herself closed the case, okay? And come to find out, she's a childhood friend of the primary beneficiary of my life insurance, right? That was her lifelong friend. And so Rodriguez, absolute dirty cop, no doubt about that. And one main player. One of the secrets, one of the security camera pictures of what I called the secret police on the just a few hours after I shot was Rosa Rodriguez, and look where she's pointing. She's pointing out the tunnel entrance on the screen. Got her finger up there. You know, I feel absolutely sure she knew what was going on. That's what she's pointing out on the screen. I just showed you. I was at the screen showing you. Okay. And so I want to show you some dates here, and to wrap this up real quick, because here's what we know, and this is it. This is going to be important. Okay. Suspected tunnel entrance is put in somewhere between 9/3/08 and 12/09. Okay, we got Google Earth pictures showing us that. Suspected tunnel entrance live tree is removed between 10/3/14 and 4/28/16. We got pictures of that. Okay, and here's the question: was a cover up going on during this time period, and that's why they took the live tree out. Okay, during that time period when that tunnel entrance was removed. 2 of them, actually. Okay, so here's some of the important dates. Mike Lawhon, the previous homeowner, dies mysteriously in 2 different towns, and then I buy this home. That happens on 10/12/08, and so it barely falls into when the suspected tunnel entrance could have been put in. Okay, and so I mean that's very interesting. I wonder if this underground, if that tunnel entrance was here when he died. But it was in the time frame. Okay, I'm ambushed and shot. We know for a fact the suspected tunnel entrance was in then. Okay, that's a fact. Okay. And then, okay, here's some other dates. 9/22/14. Mystery underground Suddenlink cable is removed. Suddenlink shows up. I'm taking pictures and videos and posting them on Facebook, and all of a sudden, Suddenlink gets a disconnect notice for this mystery cable going in the ground where nobody knows where it goes. To this day, nobody can explain where it goes. And I've always wondered if it went down to the underground facility that multiple people said was here. Okay, so that happens in that same time period as when that live tree was taken out. Okay, secret police and Sheriff Deputy Mike Naylor dies October 9th, 2014. I look at all right there all together. Okay, here's 6/29/14, and I've got them out of order because that should be at the top. Suspected Dr. Gattiselli seen at that neighbor's house right there, the one with the suspected tunnel entrance in the backyard. Okay, and then 12/15/14, secret police in Midland K9 police officer Chad Simpson dies. So first you have Naylor died. 2 months later, you got the second secret police dies. Now this is according to my private investigator, but I believe that to be true because the police report I believe is what was falsified because it doesn't match up with the security camera pictures or what the private investigator says. Okay, and then really important here, in June 11/15, Dr. Gattiselli gets murdered in Odessa in a murder-suicide. Okay, and so and then the news said that he was being investigated for money laundering. Okay, and remember that I was told a few weeks before the murder attempt in my life, the secret is a group of doctors are killing people for profit. Okay, and I testified to that in court. I got a document showing the transcript. Okay, and then in April of 16, underground digging noise recorded, and so I'm gonna show you these real quick, and on them dates, and then you could go back here. Okay. Okay, this is the Suddenlink shows up. Okay, I see their trucks out there, so I walk out there and talk to them, and they said they got a disconnect notice on, here it is, in September 22nd, 2014. So there's a record of who was paying for that mystery that coax. I got a video on that about that cable going down here. And remember, that tree is there at this time, so we know the tree's there at 9/22/14. Okay, so the live tree wasn't taken out yet. Okay, and here it is. I'm showing a picture of it, and it goes underground there, and nobody knows where it goes. Okay, Home Depot. I got emails from Home Depot. They're saying it doesn't go to. They don't have Suddenlink, and it doesn't go to the homes. Okay, and so it's suspected it maybe went to underground facility. This picture I took right here, it's parked in front of that neighbor's house, right in front of my house. That's who was suspected. It's a dark green Jaguar, big white dog. Somebody would know if that's Dr. Gattiselli or not. Okay, and this one's dated June 29th. I thought it was suspicious, so I took a picture of it. Okay, that was all in the same time frame. Well, and then you turn around here, in June 11th, 2015, Gattiselli shot to death in his office. And I believe it was the husband of another doctor that murdered him in a murder-suicide. And so that long-standing question, was it Gattiselli that was here at my house, and why? Okay, and so, and also in that same time frame that I'm talking about, where the live tree is removed, and then we have Mike Naylor dies and Chad Simpson dies. And so I will say, repeated break-ins to this house, I haven't stopped that. That tells you that there's still underground access to this home. People go, why don't you dig? It's because these are armed and dangerous criminals, and not until law enforcement gets on board with stopping, these crimes, because this is a proven capital attempted murder. I wasn't shot with my gun. Somebody come to my home and shot me. There should be an investigation going on into who tried to kill me, and there may be some clues right there.